This week's theme is purpose-driven content. The podcast Superfan Attraction Personal Branding for Artists and Creatives. The topic this week is purpose-driven content, which is the second stage of my Superfan Attraction Method. So you can watch the podcast episode to get a little bit more of an overview of what goes into creating content. Today I thought I would explain the process that I've been implementing for my own, so you can get a glimpse into practicality behind content creation. Because I'll admit, it's been hard to be consistent and to build your audience. And I'm all about that. I feel like I have to take away my social media expert status because it's just gotten so big, and so the algorithm, it's so hard to get attention. But this year I am following my own advice. Let's figure out a content strategy that I can't fail at. We know we have to create content to be active on social media. But without a plan in place, what am I going to post today? Oh, I know I should post, but I don't really have anything prepared. Oh, I could do it tomorrow. Oh, damn, I didn't do that video I was going to do. It gets away from you. Then you go too long without posting and you lose your momentum. So you have to have a plan in place. And for so long, my content was a bit more about me and less and about you and my purpose and why I do what I do and how I do what I do. But I wasn't really giving my knowledge as much because I was really thrown by reels where it had to be 15 seconds of 3 easy tips to do this. My brain doesn't work that way. And so it was a block for me. And also I avoided doing video for so long. But that was part of it. It wasn't that I had a problem being on video. Through trial and error, I discovered I'm fine. It's what are you going to say? And you have to say it in 15 seconds. I want to sit you down and tell you everything I know about a subject. My brain doesn't work in 3 easy steps too. So in order to be consistent on social media, I had to figure out a plan. And the idea of theme weeks, also I know it's hard when you have so many interests or so many areas of knowledge or expertise that you could share, that it gets overwhelming of where do I start? That's kind of was me. I'm multi-passionate and I'm always on a quest of knowledge and new things. And when I get a new interest, I'll deep dive and learn everything I can about it. But how am I going to actually start sharing that so it helps people? Put in categories all my knowledge. And my method, it's not a quick and easy method either, but it's not meant to be because there's too many quick fix solutions out there. You can take a course on personal branding or a program on personal branding, and it's a total of like 3 20-minute exercises. That's not going to give you the complete picture. It takes time. And so my method is 3 stages that take some time, and each one is detailed. And so what I came up with was, okay, let's break that down. For one, let's go video on the podcast and do videos more often. But that's why the first 3 episodes of the Superfan Attraction podcast has been purpose-driven content and personal branding and media spotlight. Media spotlight will be next week, talking about publicity. But then I'm going to go in more detail on all the different topics that are under each of those categories. So that's my plan, where there'll be theme weeks. And so how to create the content with that. So my plan, what I have been doing, if you see on socials, I've been consistent, posting every single day for at least like 3 weeks now. And I wanted to share what it is I do every week so that you can maybe start to figure out maybe how you could fit this in. So for the theme of the podcast, create the audio podcast of it, the video podcast of it. I create a blog post to go with the video and the audio. So if you're more of a reader as opposed to a listener, you can read about the topic. So once I have the topic for the week, the podcast is done, the episode's done, the blog post is done, the main content. And then I think about crystal recommendation. That was kind of my fun added thing, that maybe on Sundays, my post on Sundays from now on is crystal recommendations for the week connected to the topic we're going to talk about. So my goal was to, what can I post every day to have something? So I wanted to create at least 2 reels a week, 2 short videos a week, 2 carousel posts, which are the multiple images that teach you something that's connected to the topic of the week. I am going live once a week, and then the fun things of the crystal recommendations and a quote card of something that I said on the podcast or something I've said recently that might connect to you. And so how do I schedule that? So once it's created, Sunday, I post a mini carousel on the crystal recommendations. Monday will be a educational carousel on the topic. So Tuesday will be a reel about basically introducing the topic of the week. Wednesday, another reel with a clip from the podcast. Thursday, go live. And again, talking about something connected to that week's topic. Friday, another educational carousel. Saturday, a quote image. And then we're back to Sunday, crystal. So that's what I've been doing. And that's my plan. It's been a lot of work. And yes, it can be a full-time job, content creation, but it gets easier. The first few weeks, it's been trying to keep up, but everything's coming quicker now. Once I got the podcast, it's like, okay, what are 2 things that I could teach in a carousel post related to the topic? Then what are the key clips of the podcast episode that I can shorten for reel videos? What is the quote? So that's kind of how I've been doing it. And the carousels and reels, all of it is getting easier and faster to create. So I'm able to stay consistent with it. And that is what I'm sharing today. So I hope this gave you an insight of what I'm creating for myself. And it's important to know, posting is one thing, you also have to engage. When you first open your Instagram app, and those are the followers that use that. And usually it's full of ads, suggested posts, and you're just like, that's great, but I want to actually find my artists. I want to find my potential clients. I want to find all you singers, musicians, actors, artists, creative entrepreneurs. I want to see your stuff. I want to comment on your stuff. So the little Instagram thing at the top And now I click following, and that's where I see it all. And I've started to do voice to text too. So that is improved my engagement, so I can engage more with people's content. Yeah, figuring out systems. And so that's all today. I will see you next week. If you have questions, pop them in the comments and I will answer. And see you next week.